you're still watching the Frontline on NBS TV, and to remind our viewers, especially those of you who follow us on Afro Mobile, that what you need to do to continue watching your favorite shows on NBS TV, including the Frontline, is to uninstall the old app, Afro Mobile app, and install the new app. It will give you easier access and better viewing experience. Those logos are being displayed, the old logo that you've been used to and the new logo that you need to download to be able to follow your shows on this TV. Jacob Mukubwa says, thanks for the program. Jacob, I don't know. Hey, this is actually Michael. He says, Jambo Mukubwa, Charles. I thought that was Jacob. Thank you, Michael, for watching the show. Michael watches us from the Democratic Republic of Congo. We appreciate your patronage from them. Benson says, do we still have shame as a country? I should ask Dr. Bayomose. Another viewer here says, yes. Solomon Webalarali says, my question goes to Minister Bayomose. On his way to Kenya, Dr. Besigye went through Entebbe Airport. If the security agencies in Uganda had evidence that Besigye had before going to Nairobi committed terrorism-related offenses in Switzerland, Greece, and Kenya, why didn't they arrest him at the airport? Why did they allow him to proceed to Nairobi? Why did they allow him to go through the immigration process? Surely, it can't be that it was after his arrival in Nairobi that they got the evidence that he had committed the said offenses in the said countries. Secondly, why doesn't Baryomus want people arrested outside the country to be extradited through the legal process? Honorable Minister, you'll answer to those questions. Peter Wamboga says, a group of sharing some story here. Are you aware of this? How true? A group of military generals allied to former Chief of Internal Intelligence Bureau, Okor, plotting a coup against the Excellency Salva Mayardit's government in South Sudan. These top military generals are not only against the dismissal of General Akol from national security. This is information that he's sharing with us. We will investigate, we will follow it as and when we can have more detail. We don't have that detail at the moment. Jacob is watching us, says, I would wish to know from Honorable Chris Baryomonse, what happened to the guns that were allegedly recovered from Bobby Wine's hotel room in Arua in 2018? Another viewer here, Kamlege's statement, I have never even been a scout. Yes, this is Kachumeta who says, I liked Kamlege's statement. I have never even been a scout. As a bona fide Ugandan for life, please let's do whatever we are doing with caution, at least putting in mind history as our grandmaster, Mohenda Kachumita. I'll pick a few more messages here. There are quite many that I need to pick and we'll have to respond to in a moment.
They're all for Honorable Chris, I guess.
Most of, yes.
I am ready.
Yes, Ken Mutenyo is watching us and says, we're living in exile in Nairobi West during Pt2 in the 1980s. Balaki Kiria was abducted from Kenya, and as Ugandans, we started hiding from each other. To Honorable Baryomonse, my message is, in Latin, mea culpa, meaning through my fault. For interpretation, Honorable Baryomonse is better advised to use the Black's Law Dictionary. Ordinary English differs from legal language to interpret.
Let him interpret it for us, if he has a better interpretation. Yes, if he has the dictionary.
We need to come back into the discussion here. Dr. Matembe, let me come back to you. The political environment in Uganda, these issues of now, Dr. Kizza Besigye, you said Besigye has always been in the news. 20 years plus in activism in political opposition. What difference does this arrest make? What difference does this latest arrest make in his political journey?
Actually, before you asked me that question, I wanted to comment on this sub-judice rule. And I'm saying, after all, why should we be bound by a prejudice rule when we are even opposing where Besigye is being charged? We as citizens of this land, like we are here debating, Why should I shut down when in fact I'm saying that Besigye is not in the right, there is no court. As far as I'm concerned, there is no court in which Besigye is confined, because as it is very clear that this arresting of civilian people and putting in the military tribunal, which is meant to discipline the military people. Moreover, I don't know whether it deals with criminal offenses or whatever, but it's disciplinary of the army officers when they go against their laws or whatever. Now you arrest civilians and put them there. And the court of appeal has said, no, this is wrong.
The Constitutional Court.
The Constitutional Court, which interprets our Constitution. It says that. And yet the government of Uganda, which has been violating our Constitution anyway, continues to defy an institution which should have, if we had separation of powers. Once the case goes to court and the court decides this is it, then the court should be listened to and should not be violated. Like right now, see that the civilians are taken to that court. So for me, as far as I'm concerned, since it is a wrong court, it is not a court at all, as far as I'm concerned. They are imprisoning him illegally, moreover in a illegal way. Secondly, the charges, even me, I'm concerned with the charges they are putting forward. They talk of this man being, is it in Sweden, wherever. Now, when he was in Sweden and wherever, I don't know what crimes they committed there. When you are charging a person, this lawyer who is a practicing lawyer, they put the charges, they put the day when you were seen here, you were done here, this is it, and they put them there. But according to what I listened to,
the particulars of offense,
I didn't see the particulars of offense in Sweden or in those countries I have forgotten, in Switzerland, and if they've been following and she's doing whatever things they've been doing. She has never been arrested. She has never been charged with those things. And they only come with the Kenya now. They leave him go and leave the airport, and they talk of the pistols. Me, I'm wondering. When I'm traveling, even from Entebbe airport, by the way, before, when you are about where they stop us there and say, are you armed? They start from there. They check whether you are armed. You go through the airport. You reach the end.
They scan whatever.
Check where you are armed. You reach Kenya. You don't go inside Kenya with those arms which you are armed with. And
Kenyan hotels do scanning.
And the Kenyan hotel everywhere. And moreover, he went into a hotel where he left his luggage. Now, all this time, these Ugandans who knew that this man has been doing wrong, what were they waiting for? And I want to ask, does this tribunal which is charging Besigye with having the pistols, the 2 pistols, Simanya and the 80, whatever.
It's a pistol and ammunition.
8
rounds of ammunition.
Do they want us to believe that this man, having been grabbed, with all his property were left in a hotel? I imagine all his things are in a hotel, and they grab him and take him. Do they want us to believe that if they are putting those pistols, making them, that he was with them? Do they think I can believe me, Miria, that Besigye, when he was arrested, was with these pistols and the bullets? I will know that they have cooked it. They are the ones who had the bullets, they are the ones who had the pistols, and they are looking for a charge to charge Besigye on those charges. Because why haven't they been having all these charges they are talking about? And they insist on this one. So having said that now, I want to go to what you are talking about. You see, You see, we are soon going to what? You can see the president has been touring in the East, deceiving people as usual. He's so concerned, he's so worried about 2026, and he's been moving, touring and campaigning for 2026 already. Now, you see Besigye now had come up with a new fire. You know, energy. He has been quiet. FDC has been doing the things, and for him he has been doing his. And when there was this clash of the FDC, disagreement, and they came up with now the PPF. That is it PFF?
Yes.
That gives them now a new beginning, and there could be a possibility now of fresh mobilization to build this party. And you can imagine, then President Museveni starts shaking. How can this man again come with vibrancy and they are young people, you know, young people out there, they are increasing since even 2021 elections. Those are the last elections.
Yes.
The young people have been increasing, the suffering has been increasing, and therefore they can mobilize one another, and the PFF coming with new vibrancy. So he's so scared. He's so intimidated as usual. I mean, about his elections, you know, the way he wants to stay forever. And so now he's beginning to arrest Besigye. I do not believe that there is any charge. Byanyima says he has all the evidence, but he can't discuss them here. But at least we should see them, or at least the charge sheet should be coming out clearly with whatever these people did. The evidence can always come later, but when we say a charge sheet which is meaningless in a court which is not supposed to be arresting or detaining Besigye, then we know that it is all the usual thing. The usual thing, they have always arrested him. When he becomes vibrant and, energetic, they arrest him. And I know it will, except that it may take long there. We don't know how long it will take. And as you know, it is only now with his chapter 4 maybe. Yeah. These other civil society organizations, which should be out there to really refuse this, they are not there now. They are silenced. They said, whatever. We are not there anymore. They closed us. So they are shutting us down, and they are taking him, shut him there, so that they can continue now with their free space. But I must comment also on this Kenya country. For me, I am feeling sorry for this man, Ruto, who is trying to collaborate with Museveni. Because Museveni here took over Uganda and took over all other institutions. Here, no law, no institutions, one man does what he wants. If Ruto is trying to collaborate with this man, to learn from him, he's in trouble, because for them, the Kenyans are not like us here. You remember even when the Jains were in the street and the court said no, said, Ame, you can't go into this matter. You remember? So he better be careful. Me, I'm warning him, he had better be careful, trying to collaborate with. And I think he was also fighting Martha Karua. Martha Karua, that distinguished politician of opposition, whom I understand is gathering a network of African opposition. Actors. That one shakes Museveni. And of course, Ruto could be also being shaken. And so, why is this man Besigye coming now to be the guest speaker, one of the speakers at Martha Karua's function? Let us arrest him. Let us disappoint Martha Karua. It could also be just like that.
Thank you. Ambassador Harold Achema is watching us from Arua, and he says the abduction, arrest, and prosecution of Dr. Kizza Besigye has done enormous damage to the national image and national prestige of Kenya and Uganda. For Uganda, which is the current chairman of the non-aligned movement and the group of 77 countries, what has happened is embarrassing, indefensible, unethical, and unacceptable. In this regard, I welcome the position taken by the chairperson of the Uganda Human Rights Commission. That's Ambassador Harold Achema in Arua, who's watching us. I will pick maybe one more or other message. Yes. This is John Ken Luchamuzi, the man president of the Conservative Party. He says, greetings to the panel. None of the charges read before Dr. Besigye in the court-martial constituted a crime in accordance with Article 28, Subarticle 7 of the Ugandan Constitution. I attended that hearing in person and can rightly say that the sub judice rule is inapplicable. John Ken Luchamuzi, the man. Someone here says, I am surprised my good friend Opio Nicholas doesn't know that other than the chairman, 99.9% of the members of the court-martial are lawyers, some of whom he has personally interacted with. Not forgetting that the head of the legal department in UPDF till recently has been a professor of law. This is a message from...
Dr.
do you want me to read?
Dr. Besigye, yeah.
Yes.
Lecture, yes.
Let me say the person who sent this message. This is a message from Deo Akiki, your friend. Yes, he's clarifying. Jane Kojo Kano says, why aren't the panelists arguing under what circumstances Kano Besigye and Kamlege left the hotel to the apartment on Riverside? Mr. Webala Rali should know that intelligence operations are executed covertly. That's from J. Nkojo. Enoch Fred Kahwa Jr., watching us from Kenjujo, says, when Mr. Museveni won the 2021 elections, retired Colonel Dr. Kizza Besigye has always been saying that elections cannot remove Mr. Museveni from power. He has been telling people of Uganda that Mr. Museveni can be removed out of power by other means, but not elections. When we hear that he was arrested on the allegation that he was passing firearms, it's not a surprise to the population based on his statements he has been making. And there is no government that will sit down to watch anyone who tries to put it down. The government has to do all that it takes to protect power. I'll take, yes. This is Rogers Mulindwa in Fort Portal, who says, it's a pity that we have a Chief Justice who very well knows our history and how bad our governments have been since independence. I don't know why he gave an interim order in respect of the Army Court's decision. You can imagine that. Up to now, nothing has been done, as if the court, which has jurisdiction in Uganda, closed. And yes, I think we'll take those for now. Honorable Minister, you have a lot of comments coming your direction, which you need to respond to.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you very much.
The minister himself was a victim. He was charged for stealing body parts.
Please, I'll allow the minister to respond.
You see, we lost a colleague in Parliament, Serena Nevand, and we assigned him to go and investigate what had killed Nevand. During the course of investigation, Museveni arrested him and he was charged that he was stealing body parts. This one here.
Yes, and we went to court and I defeated the state.
Ismail Musaladu says, please ask the minister where the exhibits, the pistols and bullets were found on the suspects. Had he kept them somewhere in Malaba or something, trying to understand the real charges? Honorable Minister, you have the floor.
You may not understand the real charges because it's not a court of law here. And I would advise all those who are asking many questions, including the panelists here, to wait for what the intelligence security officers who caused the arrest will lay before the courts of law, and then we shall evaluate whether they had a case or not. Let me respond to some of the issues which have been raised. One, the court-martial is a court established by law, the UPDF Act, and therefore nobody should say it's a kangaroo court or you do not know where it comes from. Its composition, its duties, its functions are all laid out in the law. And I think the law says even when you are a civilian and you are, for instance, found in the possession of materials which ordinarily should be in the hands of the military, then you can be prosecuted in a court-martial. And I think that's the stance that brings in civilians to be charged in the court martial. And therefore, it is not correct for you to come on TV and say you don't believe in the existence of a court martial, a military court martial. It is in the law. It's not a kangaroo court. It's not a creation of President Museveni or any individual. It's a creation of statute of law. Secondly, most of the issues which you are raising.
The debate, Honorable Minister, has been, do the two individuals qualify to be tried under that tribunal?
That can be
Should
raised.
they be?
That can be raised by.
Constitutional court, which is supposed to interpret the constitution under which the law is quoting.
But also a more,
Well,
granular, a more granular reading of what he's citing is to ask the question whether a pistol is an ordinary preserve of the armed forces, when pistols are licensed by the police to private individuals under the Firearms Act.
Yeah, but if you
So
are
is it
found,
ordinary
if you are
preserve?
found in possession of it when you don't have a proper license, ordinarily the guns are in the hands of the military. Yes. Well, I think most of the issues.
Preserve of the military.
Yes.
The pistol is not a preserve of the military.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Can you just go and
Because
buy it
it's
without a
licensed.
license?
It is licensed by the police.
Yeah, that's
The
why you
police
have
is
to
the
apply
military.
for it and you get a license. It
Yeah, but
means, does the police officer have to apply for a license to hold it or another person? No, because his profession.
It might be a difficult
No.
legal argument to follow.
Can you give me time to answer?
All right, go ahead.
But your answer
But
must
if
be
you are
relevant.
answering wrong
No.
Please,
things,
please
You
allow the
have
minister to
spoken
answer.
when-
answer what?
I mean, the determination about the relevance of the answers is not for the panel.
It's not for
to
you.
determine. So let him.
I could also comment on the arguments you have been making,
Yeah,
but
please
I
go
have
ahead.
been quiet.
Go
Doesn't mean that because I was quiet, I agree with what you have been uttering.
Go ahead.
Therefore, most of the issues which,
What is universal right and wrong, Chris?
most of the issues you are raising, whether it was lawful to arrest Dr. Besigye.
To abduct.
Yes, it is abducted.
Okay,
It was not
you can
arrested.
use abductor, use
Honorable
arrest,
Semuju,
not
please
mine.
allow the minister make his
But he said,
contribution.
we said Besigye was
You
arrested.
will
We
have-
did not say that.
No, no,
Besigye was
yes.
abducted.
You'll have opportunity to speak. Let the minister complete.
You don't be anxious. This is a talk show. You have had your time, let me
No,
speak.
these things are very annoying. Even
No.
when you are charged with
Even me, I can get annoyed.
I was very annoyed.
You don't have the prism of being annoyed.
Yeah.
All of us
I
can
was
get
annoyed
annoyed.
when they charged you with stealing body parts because I knew they were lying.
Don't divert me, please.
But it
I am-
managed to succumb him to be who he is now.
Who am I?
Defending what he should
Dr.
not
Matende
defend.
and Honorable Semuju, please allow
So
the
they
minister.
are arresting Besigye that he may
allow the
succumb
minister,
and be
allow the minister
and be
time
like
to respond.
Byanyima.
You
Can
have
you
your time.
protect me
Okay,
from
I have
headquarters?
kept quiet.
Can you protect me
Please
from
go ahead.
headquarters?
From what?
Headquarters. You need to have respect for each other. I have been quiet listening to you.
We are
Please.
respecting you highly.
Yes,
but
respect
when
by keeping
you
quiet.
lie, when
No, no,
you
by
lie
keeping
and
quiet.
say what is not
Let me give my views.
sensible, we shut you down.
Let me give you your
also.
views. Unless if you think this is an opposition forum where we who represent the government should not speak.
Chris,
That's what you're
you
saying.
answer.
Yeah, okay, keep quiet and I
Stop
answer.
quarreling. You answer.
I am saying that most of the issues you are raising, whether Dr. Besigye was arrested in a
Abducted.
manner which is lawful or unlawful, those are some of the issues you can canvass in court when the trial begins. The lawyers can raise, and I'm sure if, for instance, the opinion of the judicial officer presiding thinks that there was illegality, even the case can be dismissed. And I'm sure the lawyer knows that. So, it does not add value to just say it was illegal or not illegal. The issue is he was arrested. All those details can be raised in the court. And whether there is a case for him to answer or not is not for us here, the panelists, to say. Like I said earlier on, those who arrested him must have a reason why they arrested Dr. Kizza
Honorable Minister,
Besigye,
there would be
not
an
any
argument,
other,
there would be
and
an
all
argument
that
that
detail.
there is validity in asking those questions given the history of this particular individual. that
Yes,
he's
but
been
you
arrested
cannot,
before.
you cannot
and
get the
interpret-
answers from a talk show.
Can I put the question,
You
Honorable
must
Minister?
ask the right questions
Yes,
also.
can I put the
Yes.
question? Can I put the
You
question?
got to ask, for instance,
Or-
what has he done for him to be
or can I
arrested?
put
You can't
the-
get the answer from a
Can
talk
I
show.
put the context?
Yes, please.
The argument has been, are you prosecuting him for offenses he has committed, or you're persecuting him for his political activity? And the context is that he's been arrested multiple times before, and all the times he's been arrested, there's never been successful prosecution for the state.
Yes.
Yes. How do you
That
defend
aside, does it mean if he freshly commits a crime, he should be left because he
These
has
are
been
never
arrested?
crimes.
No.
Please
No,
allow
I'm
the minister
saying
to answer. I put a question to the minister.
that what you are
Byanyima.
raising, despite that, does it mean if intelligence and security officials have evidence that pins Dr. Besigye, they should leave him scot-free simply because he has been appearing several times in the court, or simply because the state has failed to prosecute him successfully? My answer is no. And that's why I'm saying, let's be patient. The good thing, he was not tortured, he was not killed, he was brought. Ugandans have seen him. Honorable Semuju says he has visited him, seen him, and he will be appearing in court. And all of us shall be watching and listening to the kind of evidence that the security that will be prosecuting in this case has. So for you to ask that, demanding answers from here, I think it is premature to ask some of that. Dr. Matembe is saying maybe President Yoweri Museveni is fearing Dr.
It's
Kizza
not
Besigye.
maybe. I'm saying that is his
Yes.
way of life.
And I'm saying,
So when
no,
you say
not at all.
maybe,
Dr. Besigye, in my view, as a political actor, is a spent force. And I don't think anybody else get it from me.
So why do you arrest him now?
He's not arrested
If he's a
because...
spent force,
Yeah, but
is
if
he
you-
anybody variable?
No.
Let him
They
conclude.
don't arrest you.
don't just-
No. They don't
Let
arrest
him
you
conclude.
because of your political strength.
No variable.
No. You are not arrested because of your political strength, but because there is suspicion that you have committed a crime. And definitely, even if Dr. Besigye was a political challenge, the man of handling him would not be to arrest him. It is to convince Ugandans. Because does arresting him, for instance, mean he will not stand for elections if he wants? No. Does arresting him mean that you decrease his political popularity? No. So I don't think we should confuse what is criminal or what the state is pursuing in terms of crimes suspected have been committed with the politics. Otherwise, all political players who are in opposition would be arrested if that were the case. If you thought that NRM can reduce the political popularity of its opponents through arrests, that cannot be the case, definitely. The state has a cardinal responsibility to protect all of us. Even me, if police had information that I have committed a crime or about to commit a crime, they would apprehend me even when I'm a minister. So apprehending or arresting Dr. Kizza Besigye should not be an issue. The issue is if the state fails to bring evidence why they have arrested
Which
him.
it will not.
Thank you.
Which it
We shall
will
wait.
fail.
We shall wait.
Thank you.
We
We
shall
need to
wait.
take a quick commercial break.
But that's why I told you at the beginning
Yes.
that we may be constrained to go into deeper discussions, but let's wait for the prosecution with the evidence which they will adduce in the court. And then we shall evaluate it whether it was feeble or it is strong. But for you to argue that Kizza Besigye, because he's a high-profile politician,
But is that
he should not be arrested, I think that's a false and
Thank
wrong
you.
argument.
William Mubiru Kayondo in Nabingo, your message is very long, so I'll read only one paragraph. He says, some people are condemning the manner in which Kizza Besigye and his co-accused Obed Lutale were arrested because they are ignorant about certain things. It was simply a covert operation, and the people who carried it out know better than anyone else why they did what they did. And Gold Riondo, thank you for watching. You also sent a message. Let's take a break. When we come back, we'll continue with this debate.